The great purge of Mercedes social media has begun as Team LH jumped ship to join the Tifosi in suffering through Ferrari's questionable race strategy and dodgy car development program. But just because Lewis Hamilton has gone doesn't mean that Mercedes will cease to exist. Toto Wolff, George Russell and rookie Andrea Kimi Antonelli have a tough season ahead of them as both drivers try to prove their worth to the team. Could 2025 be the season Mercedes finally find their feet in the ground effect era? Today, I'll check out what the new season holds for the Silver Arrows and why 2025 is a huge step into the unknown for them, so don't go anywhere. On the 1st of January, Lewis Hamilton officially switched allegiance from Mercedes to Ferrari. The Instagram bio was changed, LinkedIn was updated, and Mercedes lost thousands of followers as the Hamilton fans who had grown to hate Mercedes joined the ranks of the Tifosi. Seeing the sport's most successful ever driver leave the team that made it happen for him and join F1's biggest team is a huge moment, one that could change Ferrari's history. If the move works out, then Hamilton could return Ferrari to F1 champions, something they haven't been for the best part of 2 decades. If it doesn't work out though, well, I don't dare to think what the fallout between Team LH and the Tifosi would look like. But for now, everything is positive and fans across Formula One are at least interested, if not excited, to see how things turn out. The expectation for success is starting to build, and even the most jaded Ferrari fans are starting to think that they might be on their way back to F1 glory in 2025. However, Lewis Hamilton is not going to turn Ferrari into a championship-winning team on his own. Sebastian Vettel couldn't manage it, nor could Fernando Alonso. Multiple World Championship-winning drivers have tried to follow in Schumacher's footsteps and failed. Hamilton could do the same. Because of that, Fred Vasseur has urged his Ferrari team to keep their feet on the ground, despite the excitement of Lewis Hamilton officially joining the Italian outfit. Speaking just after the 2024 season concluded, Vasseur insisted his mechanics must be focused on the job as they look to produce a car capable of winning the world title. Everybody all over the world is excited, and for sure the mechanics are also excited, Vasseur told Sky Sports News. It's always exciting to have someone who is a 7-time world champion into the car, but I think after the day one, we'll have to turn this page and to be focused on the job. At Hamilton's previous employer, excitement is in pretty short supply. Mercedes are coming off the back of their worst season since 2012, when Michael Schumacher retired for the second time. That time, they at least had Lewis Hamilton's arrival to look forward to. The signing of rookie Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Valtteri Bottas as a reserve driver isn't going to match that. Even though Lewis is leaving, his legacy won't be completely gone from the team. The Brits' work on diversity and inclusion has ingrained itself within the team, and according to team principal Toto Wolff, they'll ensure progress is made in this area following Hamilton's exit, not only behind the scenes, but also publicly, by retaining the black Mercedes livery. He's had an impact on diversity issues. A lot of our population now comes from underrepresented groups, and that's what will make us stronger, because it's about different cultures, different perspectives. He made us kneel when we needed to, and he supported us to make the car black, and it will stay black. We're not going to shy away from it. While Hamilton will leave a legacy at Mercedes both on and off the track, the team will have to adapt to their new situation. For the first time in Mercedes F1 history, they'll find themselves without one of the best drivers in the sport on their team. They had Fangio and Moss in the mid-50s when F1 was in its infancy. Then, when they returned to the sport in 2010, they had the then 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher on their side. To replace Schumacher, they brought in Hamilton, who at the time only had 1 world championship, but was regarded as one of the best. So in 2025, Mercedes find themselves for the first time in their F1 history without one of the best drivers the sport has ever seen. Toto Wolff must make do with a promising but unproven rookie, Antonelli, and a good but yet to truly excel driver, Russell. This is completely untrodden territory for Mercedes. How will they handle not having a top 5 of all-time driver on the team? Before I talk about the 2 Mercedes drivers and what might happen to them both in 2025, if you're enjoying the video and want to keep up to date with everything happening in the 2025 season, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe to F1 Reverse. Thanks a lot. So not only is the Mercedes driver situation lacking in pedigree compared to previous seasons, the contract situation is also problematic. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has recently said that the team has very complicated contracts with both George Russell and Kimi Antonelli regarding options over the future. Both drivers are only thought to be on deals covering the 2025 season as it stands, and Toto Wolff will be keen to try and replace Hamilton with a driver of similar caliber if possible, which means until we hear of a contract extension for both Kimi and George, you know that Wolff will be speaking with Verstappen. Wolff has confirmed the team has options on both drivers beyond the end of this year and explained the pressure cooker environment Mercedes has had in the past, with drivers often having been on short deals. The question of whether or not Antonelli was on a multi-year deal was put to the Mercedes team principal, with the young Italian only announced in the team's press release as being signed for the 2025 campaign. After the two drivers were announced as the pair for the 2025 season, Wolff explained to the media, "These two are the future. They have been and will be Mercedes drivers, and therefore we have contracts with George and Kimi that go much longer, that are very complicated in terms of options, etc. And this is a pressure cooker. Mercedes always has been a pressure cooker. But this is where we stand as a team today. We want to go with these two." How the two handled 2025 will be really interesting to see, especially with neither having a drive for 2026 as things stand. Will Russell be able to leave Mercedes and be the Hamilton replacement that he and Toto Wolff always claimed he would be? Is Antonelli F1's next superstar as Toto has hinted? And will Mercedes be able to improve the car in any way whatsoever, or will they write off 2025 to chase glory in 2026? Whatever they decide to do, they'll have one big advantage. Since 2021, F1 teams have been forced to design their cars under aerodynamic testing restriction rules. The idea was to limit the amount of time the most successful teams receive in the wind tunnel and in computer design time, with it being a sliding scale of hours corresponding to championship position. The scale is actually quite severe, with the team that wins the Constructors receiving 45% less time in the wind tunnel than the team that finishes last. Mercedes' fourth-place finish in the Constructors' Championship last season is their worst result since the rule was introduced, which means they'll have more wind tunnel testing time than over any of the previous seasons. They could use that extra time to try and find some performance under the current regulations, and potentially give Russell and Antonelli a car capable of fighting for a championship. Then we would really be able to see how this new lineup would perform. Alternatively, they can use all that extra testing time to focus on 2026 and try to use the huge rule changes that are happening that season to get back into the mix with the top teams. Whichever path Wolff and co choose will have a huge impact on how Antonelli and Russell's first season together goes. Whatever they choose to do, the pressure will be on the Mercedes team to perform. While Hamilton may be gone, they still have fans who have experienced incredible highs over the past decade and who expect that success to be repeated. They still have one of the biggest budgets in the sport and investors who will want to see some return for the money being spent. And they have Toto Wolff, who hasn't been comfortable running a team that appears to be in decline. Wolff wants a championship-winning driver. 2025 is a time that Russell has to step up and really cement himself as a driver who is capable of winning F1's biggest prize, even if the car isn't actually capable of doing it. And Antonelli has to hit the ground running, because if there's even a slither of a chance for Wolff to tempt Verstappen out of Red Bull, he'll go for it with everything he has. What are your expectations for Mercedes in 2025? And do you have confidence in their new driver lineup? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you want to support the channel, then make sure to check out our merch store at f1reverse.com. Until next time, drive safe and bye for now.